Good morning, geeks and gamers. I am not tired because I actually slept last night. I didn't play video games all night because Ryan threatened to quit if I did because he's so tired of it. So thanks for that, Ryan. I wanted to, but I couldn't. So maybe tonight after main event, I'll be able to do that. Hello, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing great. I didn't even know you didn't play video games last night. I slept a long ass time too.
Yeah, it was nice
Well,
to
I,
get
I
some
was laying
sleep.
in bed. I don't know how much I slept. I had trouble getting to sleep.
It was
Um,
nice. It was nice to get a little bit of sleep for once. But I really did want to play Titanfall 2. And I probably went and get play tonight. I probably just going to end up playing Fortnite tonight because we got Titanfall 2 on Wednesday. But that's another
why don't you just take your
discussion.
Switch and play your Switch in bed?
I
How about
don't
you
do
do
that.
that?
That's super no. That's not what I do. That's good
Well, isn't
gamer
that the
word.
point of the Switch? You could just
I don't
undock
like.
it and take it anywhere.
Hey, it's good for people that like to play games that way. I don't like it. I don't like playing games handheld. I don't do it. I like a controller in my hand, and it's just not how I like to play games.
I don't
If
know how you can
anything,
play a lot of it. Like trying to play Mario Kart like that is wild. It makes me feel really old because my eyes feel really bad. Like I like, how do I see this little shit on here? I don't understand how people play that way.
yeah, I don't know, man. Like the few times I have played that, I still use my controller. I kind of prop up the Switch, like if I'm out of town or something like that. I'll prop the Switch up and still use my Pro controller. I don't know. I just why I never played DS that much. PlayStation or PSP.
Like some games are fine for it. Like Pokemon is a game that's built for something like that, right? Because you're not sitting there. It doesn't require a bunch of like
yeah.
very specific timing and stuff. It's a game that you're supposed to be able to play. I could fucking play it, and not be able to see too much of what's going on, or have to like worry about timing this jump or this movement or whatever.
Most people will say Mario Kart DS is the best Mario Kart. And that was, I mean, most people say that was the best one ever made. I personally don't. I mean, I think it's fine, but yeah, most of these games that require like all precision and timing and all that, I just can't do it on a handheld system. Don't know why. It just doesn't work for me. Glad it works for other people. Not my thing, but hey, it is. I can't even get Ryan to play a video game anyway, no matter if it's handheld or just regular. Because
I played well one of these fucking Mario games the other day. I actually played on my Switch. Um, Bowser's Fury or something. That
yeah,
like whatever came out with that. I think I played a little bit through that, like the first two
yes,
lands.
Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury.
Yeah, man, I think I
Yeah.
did. I think I did
Mhm.
a little of that the other day. I'm a gamer.
Really? Really?
Yeah, I pulled that out and played it a little bit.
It's Bowser's Fury, by the way. But yeah, so but um I'm shocked. Why did you sit down and play a Mario game?
Well, I was cleaning up my place, and I fucking found a bunch of Switch games. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna throw this in and play it for an hour or so. I just needed to relax. Just need a relaxing uh Mario 3D World, Super 3D World experience.
Huh. That's strange. That yeah, he was high. He had to have been high in order for that to happen.
I wish I
Because
was.
that's very strange. The Polar J
May have
Bowman
been
says
drunk.
it wasn't me. Hail and good morning, Geeks and Gamers crew. And the 199. Thank you. Mr. Dank says, hail the 199. Canadians for Trump. Thunder Strike for 10. Just providing an update on my daughter in the NICU. She's doing great overall. With only a few minor issues. I'm a Notre Dame fan, so I had made her a sign saying, heal like a champion today for her room. Well, damn, bro. Well, thanks for the update.
Well, Thunderstrike,
So,
I'm glad your kid's doing well. That's a scary situation, the NICU. I will overlook this one moment that you're a Notre Dame fan and how cringe and gay that is. I will
yeah,
overlook that
that's the
and
one
say, what
time.
a sweet sign that you made.
Yes, that's the one time we can overlook you being a Notre Dame fan. Not, but in all seriousness, I hope everything works out. And thanks so much for the update. Keep us posted, bro. Keep us posted. Weird Man Productions, Jeremy, please slap the soy boys in the chat like last night. One more makes me laugh almost as hard as when you and Ryan yell at each other. Yeah, I don't know. I normally don't respond to people in the chat. But there was a couple of trolls in the chat that I just had to address last night. It doesn't happen very often, but occasionally I will respond. I don't really respond to Twitter anymore or other YouTubers going after me. It just becomes pointless after a certain point. So any of those weirdo Star Wars YouTubers, because I'll probably, man, after seeing, I saw this Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, Leslie Headland, in her new show. I can't wait to talk about this trailer, Ryan. It's so fucking bad. It's so bad.
I don't think that like the trailer itself, I don't think it's like the worst thing. It's just it doesn't really tell you too much, but there's a lot of diversity in it.
That's my problem. That's my problem right there. That's my problem.
It's diverse.
No, my problem is because Lucasfilm has constantly told us that diversity is their focus. I don't care that it's diverse. I like a lot of things that have genuine diversity in it, but forced diversity is my problem. And you watch this trailer and it's obvious that everything about it is them going, we have to get people that are not white to be in this show, because we need diversity as our strength. When you constantly tell me how important diversity is and it's plastered all over your show, it's pointless. Like, I watch, like, Lost is a show I know a lot of people hated. I liked Lost, and I never even thought about the fact that Lost has this incredibly diverse cast until way after the fact, where people were always like, oh, we need more shows with diversity. I'm like, there's been plenty of stuff with diversity. What the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, when it's genuine, I don't give a shit. When it's forced, it's as obvious as this show is. It's cringe beyond belief. Doug B hated missing Cobra Cast last night, but I'm early to bed this week. Was watching it until this stream started. How's it going, Ryan? Bears won't get better till management changes, and that will never happen. Ryan, will they ever get better? It's never happening.
I mean, I will say that the Bears season is going exactly as I expected it to. I'm really glad that we stuck with Justin Fields instead of trading him away when he still had value. Maybe we could have got a guy like CJ Stroud. I think that would have been a lot better. Guy who's had like 4 300-yard passing games in his first 4 games, which I don't think we've ever seen before. Something like that. Either 3 or 4 300-yard passing games. Either way, CJ Stroud has more 300-yard passing games in 4 games than Justin Fields has in 3 years. So,
Yep.
Excited. We should have gone with that other Ohio State quarterback, I guess.
Yep. So we just lost the remaining people that were watching the show because Ryan talked about sports.
You fucking asked me. Super chat asked me.
I know. I'm just pointing that out. But what are we talking about today, Ryan? What is our topic of the day?
Well, there's a couple topics. We may as well. You just got in on Acolyte, so we might as well talk about this. With all the focus being on Ahsoka and the release of Ahsoka, some people have forgotten that there's still more Star Wars stuff that is coming out within the next year or so. You do have that Skeleton Crew show, which people have almost forgotten about. But of course, how could we forget about The Acolyte with Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, Leslie Headland, at the helm? And it hopped into the discussion for a lot of people the other day because a trailer leaked online. Now, this isn't a new trailer. I actually saw this trailer back during Star Wars Celebration because that's where they showed it. However, if you do try to show it anywhere, if you do try to link it anywhere, it's getting taken down pretty quickly. Like, it's getting removed from Reddit, getting removed, struck like that. So we can't show you the actual trailer. But we can tell you a little bit about this series. Jeremy, you watched the trailer and you said that it felt like there was a lot of diversity, right?
That's all it was. It is a show to tell you how the white man is bad and how diversity is our strength. And that is, it's all over this trailer, That's all I thought about watching it. And it's distracting because they've constantly told us that this is what their focus is. This is constantly what Lucasfilm has said. When you just talk about it so much that it just becomes forced and obvious, and you can't even look at this as any other thing than social justice propaganda. That's all it is.
If it was just the trailer that was out there, you'd probably wouldn't think too much of it. But like you said, this has been the advertisement, whether it's from the showrunner or from all the people involved with it. The Acolyte actress, Amanda Stenberg, claims the world of fantasy and sci-fi hasn't felt like a safe space always for people of color. She's a non-binary, by the way. I think they, them. What about Jodie Turner, the one who said, yes, more women in Star Wars? She claims having a show about a black lead is so groundbreaking and says Star Wars is about a man's journey. What about this bitch? Charlie Barnett absurdly claims he never believed he could play a Jedi because I was not reflected for so many times throughout these films in the past. This has been the message from all these people, these pretend glass ceilings that they need to bust through. Oh, the first this, the first that, the first bullshit. All the while, Leslie Headland is making it perfectly clear what her agenda is. Star Wars The Acolyte will reflect showrunner's own queer identity. Star Wars The Acolyte showrunner Leslie Headland plans to have her real-world experience as a lesbian shine through in the show's creation. And then she even talks about why it's going to focus so heavy on female villains. Quote, when I was a young queer girl, God, I was just hanging out with Ursula the Sea Witch. I can see why you identify with that person. You look like her from The Little Mermaid. As a queer girl growing up, if you don't identify with the heroes and the villains show up and they're all queer coded, you're like, yes, that's me. As a queer filmmaker, you're going to see some camp in The Acolyte, inevitably. But I would say tonally our references are darker. Does this make you excited for the next journey in the Disney Star Wars universe?
Dude, this is so beyond cringe. And to be fair, I mean, stuff like, I don't know, man, you've been following it closer than me, but like Ahsoka, have we like heard a lot of this talking points from the Ahsoka cast? Stuff like this.
I don't think so. Not too much of it. And to be fair, we haven't heard anything from the cast because the writers haven't been able, or they haven't been able to promote it throughout this whole series.
But even like Andor, we didn't hear it from Andor. You know, we didn't hear much from Andor at all.
There was a couple things out there about Mexican representation and all this shit. There was some stuff, but not very much. But yeah, like when it comes to people like Rosario Dawson, we haven't heard it about how nice it is to have a person of color in a lead role in a Star Wars show. Maybe because they don't want her to be called transphobic with all these fucking weird freaks they've attracted. Half the audience probably hates her because of some weird story out there.
Yeah. Even like outside of the nonsense with Reva, that was a big deal with Obi-Wan Kenobi. But outside of that, we didn't have a lot of that. But like this show, this feels like Rings of Power level shit, dude. Like this feels like Rings of Power. That's what this is going for right now. And it's moving in that direction. And it feels like this whole show is built around that. And you have Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant that is behind all of it. And we know that her favorite Star Wars film is all of the Star Wars.
I just want to live in the universe in perpetuity.
All of the Star Wars is my favorite Star Wars.
Please, Queen Kathleen Kennedy, hire me.
Oh man, but yes, so this show I never had faith in this show. Now, to be fair, I don't have faith in anything Disney Star Wars, but this particular, like this feels like this has taken all of their social justice propaganda and taken it to another level, and it does feel like Rings of Power level. Not quite that bad, because I'm not sure if anything's going to be that bad, but holy shit, man. The nonsense coming from the cast.
You're right. It's very similar to that. It's very similar to the way the Rings of Power felt, when all these people are coming out there and, you know, kind of pushing a message about representation, why it's so important for them to be in Tolkien's world. And you have these people talking like Billy D. Williams and Samuel L. Jackson just never fucking existed. You know, that's the crazy thing to me. It hasn't always been a safe place for people of color in this community. The fuck are you talking about? Like, everybody loved Mace Windu. Like, are you fucking kidding me? People could not wait for Mace Windu to finally ignite that lightsaber and get into some action in Attack of the Clones and then in Revenge of the Sith. Like, what are you fucking talking about? It's just all fake bullshit.
Ryan, there was at least 7 accounts on Twitter with 3 to 5 followers each that said something mean about John Boyega. So I don't know what you're talking about. It's always been dangerous to be a black person in Star Wars, okay? It's always been dangerous.
I hated that too, because the bulk of the backlash that John Boyega got for being a black stormtrooper, there was like 4 tweets that were actually like pretty vile shit out of, you know, however many billionaire people like saw that ad. Most of the backlash was from people who were too retarded to understand that at that point in time, stormtroopers wouldn't be clones anymore.
Yep.
Like, that's actually where some of the backlash came from. Ignorant, fucking stupid people that don't understand the lore because they are retarded.
Yep.
But instead it got turned into some racism narrative.
Oh my God, man. It's just it's just ridiculous. And this is Disney Star Wars right here. This is Disney's Star Wars. And it's never gonna get better. That's why I keep saying I just in good conscience can't watch Disney Star Wars anymore because I have nothing to give. I don't believe that they're going to be fixed. I don't believe it's going to change ever. Ever. I don't believe it will ever get fixed. I think it's dead forever. It will never ever return. That is my like even with the scenarios and stuff like and none of those scenarios are realistic that I've ever thrown out there. It's always like in these far-fetched scenarios. It will never ever return. It's never going to be fixed. It will never be what it was. And that is just the reality of the situation. And that's all we can do is accept that for what it is. If you're enjoying Disney Star Wars, God bless you, man. Go out there and watch it, enjoy it. More power to you. But I don't believe it will ever, ever return to even remotely close to what it was.
Yeah, I don't think so. Doesn't matter. Whenever Kathleen Kennedy decides that she's done, whether that's in a year or whatever it may be, when she decides to walk away, it's not going to change. That's just the reality, and people are still hanging on to this weird narrative that some of the people in there are going to change it around. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think her leaving changes anything, though. I don't think it changes anything. I don't think it was ever going to change anything. And so if she leaves, I promise you, like people will have this idea that it's going to be like, what do you think's going to happen? Do you think the next person's going to come in and be the Elon Musk, where he just kind of fired 90% of Twitter staff? Like, no.
Yeah, there are some people out there that have been gaslit to believe lies that if Dave Filoni somehow took over, that he'd walk in there like Stone Cold Steve Austin and just fucking, stunner all the woke SJWs that are in there and turn things around. And are you fucking kidding me? Like this that's never.
To be fair, I did believe that a long time ago. So, but that was back when I had faith that Star Wars could be fixed. I am no longer at that place. I don't believe it can be fixed. I don't believe there's anybody that can fix it. I don't believe there's anybody who has what it takes to fix it. And I don't believe Disney would allow anyone to walk in there and fix it anyway. Nobody.
Yeah, not like that. Yeah.
Nobody.
You need a top-down cleansing of Lucasfilm. Like a cleansing of the entire thing.
You need an Elon Musk Twitter takeover. That's what you need. And unless Elon's going to buy it, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah. And again, all we've seen from the very beginning of the Mandoverse stuff, even though some people wanted to believe fairy tales about the sequels getting retcon and all this stuff, from the beginning, they said that they wanted Mandalorian to be a tie between all eras of Star Wars. That's what they said. Prequels, originals, and sequel era. That's what Favreau and Filoni said from the beginning, season 1. And all we've seen since then is that is the truth. They were telling the truth about that. That's what they've done. The entire overarching plot of Mandalorian is about cloning Force sensitives. So basically Snoke and even maybe the Emperor, like shit like that, Operation Necromancer is what they put out there. And now you've got the Shadow Council talking about the First Order with Hux's dad talking about what they're doing to try to bring back order to the galaxy. It all ties into the sequels. And Ahsoka's just gone further down that point.
Yeah, and I mean, like whether it's Filoni or whether it's Favreau, it doesn't matter. If she was fired tomorrow, neither one of those. Like, I've obviously lost all faith in Filoni. And I like a lot of what Jon Favreau has done, but I always remember he's the guy that did The Lion King. He's the guy that did The Jungle Book, and I hate those movies passionately. I think The Lion King is one of the worst, lifeless, soulless pieces of garbage I've ever seen. The live action, and I don't know, man. I don't think Jon Favreau's that guy either. And not that he could be under Disney anyway, but let's just act like he would have creative control if he was to take over. I don't think Jon Favreau's that guy. I don't think so at all, based on what we've seen him do. I mean, I still don't understand how any single person liked the live action Lion King, but it still made $5 billion worldwide. That is, to me, is the strangest thing I've ever seen in movies, is the fact that movie was successful. And I know it's successful because of the massive brand recognition of the Lion King and how iconic the animated series was. But my brain doesn't process how that movie made that much money.
Well, I think part of the reason they brought him in was because Jon Favreau is the guy that kicked off the MCU.
Yes.
And, that's what Star Wars wanted to do. They wanted to turn into Marvel and go all in on these Disney Plus series and all this interconnected storytelling. And I think one of the problems you're seeing is that a lot of the general fan base isn't super interested in it. With what we're seeing with Ahsoka, I legitimately think there's a large portion of people who they thought would be their audience, would be tuning into the show, who don't even know who Ahsoka is.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, I think that's a big part of the general Star Wars fan base. Because if you've watched these movies, you have no fucking idea who Ahsoka is. And I think that's part of the problem in what they're doing. So
let's be real. And I'm going to make a sports analogy, and I'm going to lose a lot of people. Okay. But Favreau with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man is Belichick with Brady. That's what it is. Like, and yes, you chose him. You get credit because he chose Robert Downey Jr. At that point in time. Robert Downey Jr. wasn't really, he had a lot of, he was in rehab a lot. You know what I mean? And he wasn't a big star. And he's still, let's be clear, I don't think Robert Downey Jr. is a big star outside of specific roles. You know what I mean? I mean, he's a star for sure. Robert Downey Jr. is a star. He's not Tom Cruise. You know what I mean?
No,
Tom
he was
Cruise
just perfect for that role.
Right. But as Iron Man, it is perfect. It is perfection beyond belief. And if you don't have Robert Downey Jr. in that role from the beginning, I'm not sure how amazing you look back at the beginning of the MCU. Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man is the most perfect casting we've ever seen outside of Christopher Reeve as Superman. It's perfect. It's perfect. So that's where the credit goes to, but he made the right decision and he gets credit for that. But if you take that out of the equation, I'm not sure we're having the same discussion.
Yeah, maybe not. It was obviously a culmination of, I think that the beginning of the MCU is like pretty amazing how they were able to build this thing and got people invested and cared about something without all of Marvel's biggest players, And so I think that's kind of what they were hoping. They were hoping to replicate some of that success, over a decade after the fact, with having Favreau be part of doing this. But one, I don't know how much serialized storytelling Jon Favreau has ever been a part of. I just don't know. And it is different making a movie versus making a, 6, 8 episode, 10 episode series. And I just don't think it's translated super well. But anyway, I don't know how we got all the way there. But
Shadow Dragon's asking for a MegaCon update. Working on it now. The discussions are happening, and I'll give you guys some more information since I have something specific to give you.
There you go. Let's see. Cheeseburger for 5. Super Strike. My daughter was 72 days in the NICU. Healthy and loving life now. All a distant dream. Jeremiah 2911 199. Thank you, Cheeseburger. Your first super chat.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words to Super Strike. Gremlin Anku for 10. What's up, Gremlin? Hope you're doing well after yesterday. Nothing says Star Wars like carpet munching. Yeah. Maybe that's what we'll see in the finale of Ahsoka. Just for the record.
I don't know why that was so funny. That was just funny.
Too high strung. Member for a month. These people are fucking loony. Doug B for 20. Look at the symbolism in the sequels. Darth Vader's deformed, destroyed helmet. That and Jake Skywalker were just their way of showing their disdain for George Lucas. That's their FU to Lucas. Yeah, you can see it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's so, man. So I'm here in Pensacola right now. I've been in Pensacola the last few days, and the jobs that I was working in this kind of retail job where I was a vendor going to different like grocery stores, Walmart, stuff like that, and building displays, taking inventory, stuff like that. And I went to one of the Walmarts, I think 2 days ago. And at that point in time, this was back like before The Force Awakens was coming out. And I used to listen to like all these Star Wars podcasts. Like, holy shit, dude. I was listening to all these Star Wars podcasts. Funny enough, Christian Harloff was the host of one of them for Geek Nation back in the day. The Force.net back then, or what? I don't think they were Rebel Force Radio yet. I can't remember. But there was just so many of them. And
Rebel
I got
Force
to thinking,
Radio still going strong, man.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
still
Rebel
doing their
Force
thing.
Radio is awesome. And so I was walking around and I kind of got that, like, man, that reminiscent of things. I'm like, God, do you remember how excited you were for Disney Star Wars? You know, before Force Awakens and even after Force Awakens, but the prior to Force Awakens, the excitement level was through the roof, man. You know what I mean? And God, they've killed all of that enthusiasm, and it's so bad now, and it makes me sad because I do miss being excited for Star Wars. I do. Like, I genuinely wish I didn't hate it. I wish I didn't have apathy at this point in time, but I do, and I can't change that.
It was special, you know, obviously 40 years of Star Wars, and before Disney came along, you had 6 fucking movies, right? If you want to throw in the Clone Wars one, you could say 7 in 2008, whatever. But you had 6 movies in a several decade period, and it made people get excited for when the next one came out.
It was an event.
It was an event. The excitement for the prequels to me was like, I'll always remember that from my childhood because I was 11 years old when Phantom Menace came out, and all of the merchandise. I remember all of the fucking cans of Mountain Dew and Pepsi that I had with all the characters' faces on it that I saved. Yeah, I was trying to collect all the different things, and everyone was excited. And for me, somebody who I got so into Star Wars and I was reading all these books and comics and everything, I was getting a new Star Wars story like every 3 months at one point with novels coming out. And I love that, but that's not everybody. That could burn people out of a franchise. And it feels like people are burned out of Star Wars now because nothing that comes along is special.
Yeah,
And
it's not special, it's annualized. When you annualize anything, it's I don't know, man. It becomes very normie centric. So like Call of Duty is annualized. Madden is annualized. When you annualize anything, the MCU became annualized. I think it's never gonna have long, like, it'll have normie success, but the hardcore fan base, you're gonna get watered down. You're gonna have to be forced to bring different people in that don't know what the source material's about, and it starts to lose what made it great. That's what happened to Call of Duty for me. I used to love, like, massive fan of Modern Warfare 1, 2, Black Ops 1 and 2, and then it just started to lose its way.
It's
I
even
have
worse than
yeah, so-
annualized, Jeremy, because with these Disney Plus things and the weekly releases, you're talking about like 8 straight weeks. Well, I guess 7 because they did 2 in the front, but 7 straight weeks you've got an episode of Ahsoka dropping.
Yeah.
And already this is the finale. The finale's tonight, and there's like no energy over it. There's
Nobody
nothing.
cares.
Like
Yeah.
there's no hype. There's really none of that when you look at the landscape of things. And that's part of the reason. It's because it's 7 weeks of this, and people haven't necessarily been too happy with what they've seen. So they're just like, oh God, let's get this thing over with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's always been our problem. Anything like that's why I do like, Nintendo still gives me that event feeling about video game stuff like that. Like, they could release Mario Kart every single year. They could just release a Mario Kart every year. It would sell 20 million copies every time they release it, and it would have little to no changes. Same with Smash Bros. Same with a lot of their properties, but they don't. So there's this event feeling. Like, Mario Kart 8 came out, what, in 2012? You know what I mean? What? That's crazy. I think it was it 22? No, it wasn't. Well, let's see. Hang on. The Wii U, it released with the Wii U. So maybe I'm wrong about that. Is it 20? Maybe it is right.
I don't fucking know.
But yeah, like, that's how 2014. So 2014. So Mario Kart 8 came out in 2014. And we have still not got a new mainline Mario Kart. That is what builds events. That's what makes something special. So the next Mario Kart is just going to be insane whenever that does come out. Same with Smash Bros. So that's what I like. I like when things still have that special feeling. In Star Wars, Marvel, basically Disney properties in general don't have that. Pixar used to have that special event feeling. You remember that when it was special when a Pixar movie was coming out? Now you're like, don't care.
That's true.
Yep.
You know what else is special, Jeremy? Latin
3PO?
people.
Oh, okay.
Latin people.
Oh,
Latinas, Latinos.
So
You know
I don't
what
know.
I'm talking about.
Man, I don't know how many people saw this. We're going to talk more about this on Tuesday Night's Main Event tonight, but we got to talk about this. Holy shit. This is next level.
Well, you know, as Dan Vask said, suddenly the gaming community has been infested with the culture war. It just happened, right? It just happened in 2023. But obviously, over the past couple of decades, every form of entertainment, TV, movies, comic books, and of course, video games have been taken over by woke activists. It's not exactly a secret. Whether you're looking at the developers themselves or the media that pushes this stuff, it does exist. And Bungie, the other day, decided to once again show just how woke and progressive they are. Here's Bungie being, I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a parody at first. I saw the gold check mark. Being Latin / Latina / Latine / Latino / Latinx is more important than just a location on a map, just as being Hispanic is more than the language we might speak. We're proud to introduce our newest idea, Latin at Bungie, with a brown fist holding a lightning bolt with a flower and a sun behind it. I don't know if this is supposed to be like Earth or a field or something. This is Bungie. They're getting fucking annihilated, Jeremy. 4,000 likes, 11,000 comments, a lot of quote tweets or quote posts or whatever the fuck you're supposed to call them. But maybe the funniest part, I guess one, they did get community noted.
Get community noted.
The notes changed a couple times, by the way. The term Latino and Hispanic should not be used interchangeably since their meanings describe qualities of two different populations. Latinx is a term that most of the Latino population don't identify with. The funniest part is that look at these hidden replies by Bungie. Yeah, it's Latino or Latina. Wow, it's Latino or Latina.
10,000 likes. 8,000 likes. Holy shit.
Right? Hispanics when you call them a slur. Hispanics when you call them Latinx.
No, come on.
Yeah.
That's the best meme ever because it's true. Like when it's meant, like normal people don't give a shit about these things. But when corporations are trying to change the terminology for their woke propaganda, that's when people get pissed off. That is a fantastic meme right there. That is a fantastic meme.
It's true. And like, even it's some pretty weak stuff. Which white non-Hispanic employee wrote they hid this? They're hiding like such basic shit. You know what I mean? Latinx, like they hid this. This guy just called me a this already. But it's kind of insane that a lot of people in these hidden replies are Latino, are Latina. Yes. Like these are the people that they're trying to appeal to, that they're hiding from. Because the reality is nobody likes this bullshit. This is their whole initiative, introducing Latin at Bungie. This is the same exact thing they did a while ago. This is from 2020. Introducing Black at Bungie. Raised fist with a fucking lightning bolt, but this time it's for Black people. This didn't go over super well. This is in the aftermath of the George Floyd riots and all this bullshit. This is what Bungie did 3 years ago. Now they're just rolling it back out and slapping a brown fist on it instead of a black one. That's how much they care about you. They're reutilizing. You're getting sloppy seconds from their Black initiative. Congratulations.
They're annualizing their social justice stuff.
Yes. They're annualizing their social justice woke virtue signal.
Yes, I love that they're getting absolutely annihilated. I didn't even see the hidden replies yet, Ryan, so I'm glad you brought that up because the hidden replies are ratioing the post.
Yeah.
They're ratioing the post. My goodness, this is bad. But again, this is what we've continued to talk about time and time again. We have always been right about this. We will continue to be right about this. It is propaganda. It's being pushed all over the place, and they're literally ignoring the people that they claim that they want to pander to because they don't care about your opinions if you disagree with them, because it's not about what they say. It's not about diversity. It's not about inclusion. It's not about representation. It never has been about that. It's about corporate bullshit trying to force their agendas onto people, and if you disagree with them, they will cast you out. They will silence you. They will ban you. They will label you an is or an ism or a MAGA supporter or whatever it is that they're going to do. These people are freaks. Anybody that pushes this stuff they are a twisted fucking freak, and they should be exposed for it. Holy crap, I'm glad Bungie's getting annihilated. We're going to talk more about that tonight for sure, though. Holy crap, that's funny.
Yeah, they're getting fucking wrecked.
So good.
Thunderstrike for 2. Jeremy, thanks for taking our OC off our hands.
Notre Dame.
Tommy offensive Reese. Coordinator. I was like,
OC, yeah.
About?
Man, yeah, Bama's. Hey, listen, we're going to be fine, though. We got Nick Saban, so it's going to be a tough year, but we'll be fine.
My cum smells for 2. Star Wars needs a colonic irrigation. Yeah, maybe. Jay's saggy orangutan titties for 199. Throwback to Return of the Jedi on Super Nintendo. Bro, that fucking game was hard.
Very hard. I'm not sure. I don't know if I've never beaten it. I don't think I've ever beaten any of the 3.
I can't remember. Star Wars is fucking tough, dude.
Yes. I don't think I ever beat any of those 3. Not that I didn't spend a ton of time on those like I did Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Getting to the fucking sandcrawler level is like torture.
Yeah.
When I was a kid. I mean, I'd probably do it now. But
honestly, dude, I'm worse at those old school games now than I was when I was younger. So I think gaming has dumbed us down because it's so easy these days compared to what it was back in the day. You know what I mean? Like Contra. God, I played Contra recently. It's so fucking fun, but it's so tough. Contra's tough.
Chaos Killer, member for 3 months. All scan in. Hail, G&G crew. Thank you.
Hail.
Doug B adds 10 new members to the 199. It's 10 Geeks and Gamers memberships.
Doug B crushing it, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doug. The Polar J Bowman for 2. Star Wars is no longer special. Only drunk 3PO is. Thank you.
Dude, Jay last night was hosting a Rumble for Mario Kart. It was a disaster.
Oh, really? Yes. How bad was he?
It was just everything because he didn't know what he was doing on Rumble. It was all over the place. He messed up his screen a lot. It was so bad that he earned another week of hosting it. That's how bad it was.
He says he did his best. It says in chat.
I did my best.
But that's why people are making fun of it, probably. If people thought you weren't trying, it wouldn't be as funny.
Somebody said Jay needs a helmet. Wood Chippy. Jay needs a helmet. Oh, man.
SBZ for 5. Anime recommendations for Ryan. Castlevania Nocturne. Vampire Nugas. Gay sex. Girl boss preaching about racism and equality. You'll love it. That's the new one that's out that people are bitching about, right?
The new Castlevania. I don't know if that's I've heard it's super woke.
American Ninja, member for 5 months. This is why I stopped playing Destiny. They're focusing more on the woke agenda than their game.
I saw Hijabi Gamers in the chat. I know she's still like Destiny's a very popular game, and I know a lot of people that love Destiny. I was so excited about Destiny, the first Destiny. I bought it on release. I played it for like a week, and I just never played it again. I know it's gotten a lot better, and then you got Destiny 2 now. I just could not get into Destiny though. Could not.
I mean, yeah, I liked it. I didn't get too into it, but I thought it was okay. Hijabi Gamer, also for $5, says, "Damn it, Bungie. I tried to enjoy the game and they keep pulling this shit. Still, they never add that stuff in game. I still haven't got final shape." There you go.
Hijabi Gamer, shout out
in the game.
Hijabi Gamer's awesome. We love her.
It's true. Tomac for $50. Tomac. I found a copy of the James Bond collection the other day. What movie would you guys say is a good time to dip out of them?
Ryan's gonna have to answer that one. I'm not a Bond guy.
Personally, never. I don't think there's I mean, obviously, I'm not a fan of the last couple Daniel Craig era movies, but I would say never. Not all of them are great for sure. Especially you get to the Roger Moore era, and I feel like every other Roger Moore movie is like hit or miss, but just fucking watch them all, dude. Watch Connery, watch Roger Moore, watch Timothy Dalton. I'll watch the one George Lazenby one, watch Pierce Brosnan, and maybe if you want to dip out after Skyfall and maybe don't watch Spectre or I don't even remember the name of the last one.
Couldn't tell
Something
you.
about a time to die or something. No Time to Die. I think that's what it was. Maybe that's when you step out, but I would just watch them all. To be honest,
No Time to Die, or no time to time, no time to time.
It's No Time to Die.
I know.
It's No Time to Die. Someone says Spectre was all right. Spectre was all right. I didn't like the really quick, super close introduction of Blofeld with so connected to James Bond. I feel like they rushed that and it was a little bit confusing to people, but No Time to Die. It's just the way they went about the entire Daniel Craig era. I wasn't a fan of. I like some of the movies and I like how he played Bond at times, but I don't like how they just made the whole thing about his emotional attachment to Vespa and that a 5-movie arc. And that's still what he was hung up on at the end. And it's just like, Jesus, I was just tired of it. But anyway, Casino Royale is still one of the best James Bond movies in history. Andrew CR for 2,500 check. Their gringos are out of control. Yes, the gringos. The gringos. Eli Sol for 5. As Dominican, I can't stand that term Latinx. Screw shit Clown Wars 2. Let it
Hell
burn to the
yeah.
ground.
Hell yeah. Shit Clown Wars. We gotta continue that one on. We didn't push that one hard enough.
Shit Clown Wars.
Shit Clown Wars. It's the best way to describe Disney Star Wars.
E1337 Neo for 5. Ah, yes, Contra.
Elite Neo.
Oh, is that what it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
7
Elite.
Is throwing me off.
Yeah, Elite Neo. See, I got you. I got you this time. I got
Elite
you.
Neo. E1337 Neo says, yes, Contra. Destroying friendships before Mario Party was a thing. Good luck getting past the waterfall stage with 2 players.
Bro, it's so... God, I love Contra. And they've got this new Contra game coming out next year. It's going to have online co-op. Hell yes. Let's go.
The Hijabi Gamer for 2. They should focus on their broken game. Yeah, exactly. Lord J for 199. Got into Destiny once. Now I have the clap. Destiny does sound like a stripper's name, so that makes sense.
Crazy Clown Town just says, just got the Rumble notification for the stream. Damn. We've got 250 people over there on Rumble, so we appreciate you guys.
Go ahead, Ryan. Watching us over there. Jeremy, you excited for Loki?
Yeah, Ryan, I've been counting down the days. I think I watched one episode of Loki season 1 because we were for FNT, and I was like, no, I can't do this. I fucking hated it. I fucking hated Loki so bad. It's unwatchable for me. Unwatchable. Marvel shows are all unwatchable just as much as Disney Star Wars. Now, there might be an anomaly, and again, and I know this is a Marvel movie, but I thoroughly enjoyed Guardians 3. I thought Guardians 3 was fantastic, but it felt so detached from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Anything that's intertwined in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I just don't care. I don't care at all. But no, I'm not looking forward to Loki season 2.
Well, season 2 is about to be here, premiering on the same week that Ahsoka has its finale. Ahsoka finale on tonight, Tuesday, and then Loki, I think Thursday, it makes its debut. It's taking a page out of Ahsoka and doing a prime time, 9 p.m. Eastern debut as well, I believe. We're finally getting the critics' view on Loki so far, and it's a little interesting. Not exactly the glowing reviews that season 1 got so far. They're still slowly rolling in. But Loki season 1, if you remember, was a 92%, pretty highly rated by the critics. Loki season 2 so far, not quite. And some of the reviews, even some of the positive ones, are like, it's a little bit confusing and convoluted and not very fun, but it's a good cast, things like that. Its convolution's overwhelming, its charming personalities and freewheeling spirit of paradox-laden adventure. It's another indication that the once mighty franchise has lost its direction. There's so much to like. Here's somebody who really likes it. There's so much to like here. You almost forget it's a Marvel show. I don't really know what that fucking means. Look at this. This is a positive review. There are things I liked about this season. It's worth watching for Jonathan Majors and Kehu Kwan, but it's another underwhelming entry in the once flawless MCU. It's an underwhelming entry, yet this is a positive review.
Let's be clear, the MCU was never flawless, but it definitely is something that was operating on a level we've really never seen, but it was never flawless.
As flat as the rest of the season can frequently be, the big problem is Jonathan Majors, who returns as yet another Kang variant. Of course, sometimes you feel like you need a theoretical physics degree to understand it all. Strong character work makes up for some of that, as does a knowing sense of humor. Now, this one I think is interesting because this is how I feel about a lot of it. It's taken Tom Hiddleston's trickster god and stripped him of his devilish guile. The character is reduced to a bloodless cover version of the anti-hero audiences have come to adore. Welcome to Hokey Loki karaoke. I saw something interesting about this, Jeremy. And this to me is the biggest reason why I have no real interest in Loki. MCU producer confirms they have the plan for Thor and Loki to reunite. This is a character who
no one's ever really gone. No one's ever really gone.
No, this is a character who went through an arc, and when you saw him die for real this time in Infinity War, it meant something.
Yes.
It meant that this was serious. The journey that he had gone through, he finally was standing up. He was about to try to kill Thanos to save everybody and, stay loyal to his brother. And he ends up paying the ultimate price and dies for it. That was a meaningful, impactful moment. What the Loki series has done is undone all of that. Well, that didn't actually happen. They went back in time. This Loki escaped. He gets his life through basically a Cliff Notes version. And now this is kind of a different character who hasn't been through all of that. It's erasing the good parts that did exist in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that's one of the problems we're having with Star Wars, and it's one of the problems they're running into with the MCU. I don't fucking want them to reunite. They should have stayed fucking dead.
Yes. There's no stakes whatsoever. And this is one of the many reasons why Disney Star Wars became irrelevant. And yeah, I mean, you're right about that. When he died, it meant something. You felt it. There was an impact there. And I'm not going to let this nonsense change my, feelings on movies from the past, but moving forward, it's just like, there's nothing left in the MCU that matters. There's no death that matters. There's no story arc that matters. There's no character development that matters. And how many times have we talked about this many times, Ryan, how many times have we seen Thor go through the process of finding himself? You know what I mean? It's literally all he does every movie. And it's sad, man. You go back to that first Thor movie, I thought was really good. I thought the first Thor movie was really good. And the evolution of the character and where he's ended up is so bad. And I didn't see Love and Thunder, but apparently that was easily the worst of them all, of the Thor movies.
I mean, to me, I thought Ragnarok was a misstep. And then you got even more of that in Thor Love and Thunder. But if you look at the current iteration of the MCU, go back and look at Thor the Dark World. That looks like a Shakespearean masterpiece compared to the dog shit that they're shoveling out right now. And that got a decent amount of pushback when it came out. But they've turned the MCU into a joke. And the idea of that's the end goal is to reunite Thor and Loki somehow in the greater MCU, it would just erase the good things that you have done in the past. And that's one thing that people do not want. People like Tom Hiddleston. People like, the energy he brings as Loki. And I think you got some of that in that first season. We'll see how many people tune into the second, because I don't think people like the way the first season ended. The fact that it was really all about female Loki, and that once again, that's being portrayed as all about Tom Hiddleston's Loki, but really it's a bait and switch to get you more about how important female Loki really is. So I don't know, man. I don't have any hope for it.
No, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible. Look at that. Jay says Naughty Dog is laying off workers. Wow. Well, let me be the first to say, go fuck yourself, Naughty Dog. Okay. Let me be the first to say, go fuck yourself. I have no sympathy for anybody working at Naughty Dog after what they tried to do to this channel, to Ryan's channel, to Az's channel, to many of my friends' channels, all for having an opinion they didn't fucking like. So I will never forgive them for having strikes on my channel and Ryan's channel and others' channel. So that's pretty interesting. We'll have to look into that for main event. Let's see.
Last of Us right here. Last of Us multiplayer game is reportedly on ice amid layoffs at Naughty Dog. Do you remember when Neil Druckmann, that lying little fucking queer, when that piece of shit, when Neil Druckmann came out there and promised fans that you're going to have the multiplayer before you know it? They promised a lot at Naughty Dog that they never delivered on. And so, yeah, sorry to the 25 developers that have been let go as part of their downsizing. It's almost like The Last of Us Part 2 wasn't some well-received masterpiece that boosted the fan base. It's almost like it was divisive and controversial, and a lot of people fucking hated it. It's weird how that works. I can't wait till they double down for Last of Us Season 2 and introduce characters that people hated in the video game and get so many people that they got to tune into that series on HBO to once again have the same exact reaction and tune out because they hate the way that the direction's going. Fuck Naughty Dog. Fuck Neil Druckmann. And, you know, sorry for all you guys that got caught up in this that had nothing to do with it, that are just trying to do your jobs, but can't say I'm surprised that there's layoffs and downsizing at a developer who so clearly despises half of their fan base.
Yep, 100%. And I saw a comment. I'm trying to find it right now. Shouldn't you be mad at Neil Druckmann and not? Yeah, right here. Are you sure you shouldn't be mad at Neil Fuckman instead of the programmers and cleaning staff here? So that's a 100% fair point. And obviously, yes,
say that.
So, yeah. But to my point, I was saying like fuck you, whatever. So I feel like at some point in time, I can't determine that line in the sand. These people do. And you know what? If Neil Druckmann was a public Trump supporter, do you know how many people at Naughty Dog would quit because they couldn't be associated with him? Do you know how many people would do that? But Neil Druckmann can be a screaming, raging leftist, and they stand by him. And it's okay for him to strike channels down and put people's livelihoods at risk and lie. And those same people will stand by him. Why do you think that happens? So at some point in time, this mob mentality that these freaks have, you got to flip it on them. And if you're going to sit there and choose to stand by this garbage fucking company, again, you get what you deserve. People at Disney keep losing their jobs. People like me and Ryan and Gary and Az and everybody else will sit there for years and tell you Disney's running their fucking business to the ground. And this is the way that they could do it if they would just respect the fans. And we're constantly told that we're racist and sexist. And then guess what the next step is? Those people start losing their jobs and getting laid off. Well, that's because people like us are trying to tell you that the left-wing propaganda going on at your company is running it into the ground. That's what's happened with Naughty Dog. And so while I feel bad for people that are losing their jobs, always have, always will, if you're going to continue to align yourself with a company that hates the fucking fan base, then what do you expect to happen? This is what happens every fucking time. Every time. If you work for a leftist propaganda company, your job is going to be affected. Theirs won't. The leftists that are running things, they're going to continue to make profits because you are expendable and they are going to run the company into the ground, and you're going to be the ones that feel the result of that, not them. Neil Druckmann's going to continue to get promotion after promotion after promotion. He's going to continue to make more money, and you're going to get fired because of his bad decision making. That is the reality of the situation. So that's where I'll leave it. Fuck these people.
Hayden for $10. Shit clown dog. Wait. There you go. Yes, shit clown dog. Jared Smith, member for a month. You guys familiar with Borderlands? I love the games up till Borderlands 3. They have an upcoming film that has me very, very wary. I've played a little bit of Borderlands, but I never really got too much into it. I heard there was some pushback for Borderlands 3, but I don't really know anything about it.
Same.
Fuck. Where am I? Darian Murphy for 5. The MCU in their next move will be bring back Tony Stark in supporting role to boost Ironheart. They definitely would. That's some of the rumors we've heard, that Tony Stark was going to come back in some AI voice form for Ironheart and things like that. They need the characters that people care about to boost up the characters that people don't. Same strategy like they have with Disney Star Wars.
A disaster.
Yeah. I think we're all caught up, actually.
I wanted to give a plug to Ripa and Razor Fist today. That's going to be a banker. So definitely make sure you go over to Ripa's channel. That's going to be a hell of a good discussion between him and Razor Fist. So shout out to Ripa, who finally returned to Mario Kart last night. I can't get Ryan to come back to Mario Kart, but I got Ripa to show up. That's how much Ryan hates Mario Kart. It's pretty bad, isn't it? It's pretty bad. How bad do you hate Mario Kart, Ryan?
I don't enjoy it very much. There's a lot of things I hate. I haven't ranked Mario Kart on the list, but I could figure that out. I don't enjoy it. It's not fun for me.
That is weird because whenever and I completely change the subject here, but when somebody said they just got a notification for Rumble and I read that out, and now suddenly we've gotten over 100, almost about 150 new viewers on Rumble since then. So I wonder if notifications were lagging today for some reason.
Maybe
that's
possibly.
strange. But I don't know. Maybe one day. Maybe do you remember when was it Ben Giles dropped a $500 Rumble rant just
and we missed it?
Yeah, just to play Mario Kart. But we got you though. We got you back on Mario Kart. So, but anyway,
it was 500.
Yeah, it's all it took. Ryan's a high class hooker, so you got to pay top dollar to get him. Ryan, what do you got going on?
Nothing. I'm making videos on my channel and on Sports Wars. I guess as the final episode of Ahsoka, I've been doing reviews of that over on RK Outpost Live. So I guess I'll do one last Ahsoka breakdown. So I'm kind of glad that this fucking season is over, to be honest. But
yeah, I can't say I care either way. It doesn't matter to me. Desirius just dropped a Geeks and Gamers membership. Don't forget, we'll have Tuesday night's main event tonight. Talk more about this Bungie stuff and the Naughty Dog stuff. I am personally enjoying it. Again, I don't enjoy when people lose their jobs in isolation, but when it's a company that's literally tried to destroy my business and my friend's business.
Yeah.
All over.
For those that don't remember, they had 2 false copyright strikes on my channel.
2 and 3 gets your channel taken down forever.
Yeah.
And Ryan had
no
2.
review, no nothing. Yeah. I had 2. So I was living on the edge for a long time. I also got a strike on Geeks and Gamers Play. And then Jeremy got a strike on this channel.
Yeah.
From Naughty Dog. False copyright strikes from Naughty Dog, which we got overturned, but we had to challenge and be willing to go to court to do it, basically. And eventually they dropped it because they were illegal in what they were doing. It was an illegal copyright strike, but they were trying to silence criticism for Last of Us Part 2.
And in my stream, I didn't even show
You didn't show anything.
I just talked about it. I didn't even show the image.
Which is such bullshit.
Bullshit. Like I didn't even show it. Like I can understand it. I can understand within reason. If you have something that's, leaked out from your company, like I can understand. Like I don't care if something gets claimed or taken down. I care when there's a strike. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the level like that is so ridiculous. A strike is crippling. A copyright claim, a copyright takedown. Okay. We've had those done before with trailers or footage. You know what I mean, Ryan? Like we've had oh, we shouldn't show this because it leaked. Okay, fine. Take it down. That's one thing. To strike people's channels on the level that they were striking, I will never forgive Naughty Dog for that ever. And so yeah, fuck them. Go to hell, Naughty Dog.
The Polar J Bowman for 2, Shit Clown Spoon. No Comprendo for 5. People use Latinx are children in adult bodies that sing preschool songs that change the vowels each time they repeat the song. I like to eat, or I like to oat opals and bononos, like that kind of song. That's what you mean? Crispy Noken for 2. Still got my Fuck Naughty Dog shirt. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Bought those.
Hell yeah.
Those. But I think that is it.
All right, so we're going to call it. We got Tuesday night's main event tonight, so I'll see you guys there, and then we'll probably have a post-main event gaming stream as well, so that's going to be a lot of fun. But, and I think you might see, is Jay going to be here tomorrow? I think Jay might be here tomorrow. I don't know.
I'm not, so.
I think Jay is here tomorrow. Not sure about that. Do you guys really want to see Jay here on this stream? Chat, do you want to see Jay?
I do.
I don't think they want to see Jay personally. I don't think they want to see Jay. And if that's fine, if you don't like, so I'll make arrangements to get somebody else if you guys don't want to see Jay. He's usually not a very popular person around here. So look at the chat go. All right, guys, have a good day, and we'll talk to all of you later. It'll be me and Jay tomorrow here on Geeks and Gamers Daily. Bye, everybody.